Hello, I'm Sanam, and this is today's Jewelry Consumer News. Currently, there are two key questions being asked about the long-term growth of the jewelry retailing industry. First, what does the millennial jewelry consumer want when it comes to products that are fair trade, sustainable, and conflict-free? And second, will they pay a premium to get them? MVI's Jewelry Consumer Market Research team recently spoke with some of the next generation of jewelry consumers to learn their opinions and preferences. Let's have a look at a few of the conversations with younger consumers and see how they define fair trade products in general.
Terms like fair trade and no child labor mean to me that the working conditions and environments of certain products are honorable and respectful of both humanity and nature's limited resources.
To me, fair trade means that fair practices were used in manufacturing these products. So the workers were compensated well. There weren't horrible conditions in which they were made to work. No child labor.
When I see those terms used in products at the store, I think about how those terms really show me something deeper about what I'm purchasing. So not just the superficial packaging and marketing, but something more about where it's coming from and how the people or animals were treated in the process.
I definitely take into consideration where my products come from. So if it has any sort of fair trade or environmentally sustainable type thing connected to it, I am definitely more likely going to purchase it, even if it's at a higher cost. I like to be aware of what I purchase and where my products come from. So
fair trade, environmentally sustainable, or child labor really does not come to mind when I buy things at a supermarket or at a mall, for example. Because I feel that most of the retailers are doing a great job in not getting anything that has to do with child labor. They are doing things that are environmentally responsible, and they also aren't, participating in any corrupt trade.
So we can see a very high level of awareness regarding the meaning of fair trade among next-gen consumers. But will they pay a higher price for fair trade certification? Watch and learn.
I would pay a higher price for products that are certifiably fair trade and environmentally sustainable because I trust the respectability of the producer more than a producer that did not have that certification.
I would definitely pay a higher price because, when I'm paying for fair trade products, it means that my money is actually going, in the end, the higher pay is going to the workers. I hope it is.
And I already pay a higher price for certain items when I see that they're fair trade or environmentally sustainable, because I believe in those things and I want to support it, but even if it comes at a higher price.
if there's some social consciousness about the product that I'm buying, then yeah, I'll pay more for it.
Clearly, there's a preference for fair trade, sustainable, conflict-free products with this consumer segment, and even a willingness to pay a premium. But will that translate to their preferences and likely behaviors when it comes to conflict-free diamonds and sustainable fair trade jewelry? Let's see.
I would absolutely boycott a jewelry store who did not have the stamp of certification and who source their products from conflict areas of the world. I currently pay higher prices for diamonds that have that certification. Conflict-free diamonds mean that the diamonds have been ethically sourced from working conditions with environmental and peaceful standards. I would trust a conflict-free stamp of certification 100%. Unfortunately, implementing fair trade and conflict-free policies is a lot more difficult than some people think. There are many steps in the process. So I like to give jewelers some slack in at least actively trying to implement those policies. I might pay premium for a piece of jewelry that had a guarantee conflict-free, but I would absolutely pay a premium on a piece of jewelry that had the certification of conflict-free.
Yes, I've heard conflict-free diamonds. To me, I think they are just diamonds that are made in an area where there was no violence, no rape, no suffering of the workers. And as long as the diamonds did not support any war, they were basically conflict-free. In addition to sustainable work conditions, etc. I would trust a stamp saying that the jewelry is conflict-free, because I'm sure it takes a lot of effort to go and get that stamp on your product. So as long as I know what that conflict-free stamp really looks like, I would definitely trust it if I see it on any jewelry. If a jewelry store was trying to implement conflict-free policies, you have to give somebody props for trying, but I wouldn't give them a lot of leeway, since, it's either you are conflict-free or you're not, so just make up your mind. If a diamond or a piece of jewelry was definitely conflict-free, I would, pay the premium price as long as it wasn't exorbitant.
If a jeweler were trying to implement conflict-free policies, I would probably support that and give them some leeway. I'm not sure I would necessarily always trust the label, because there are times when the label can be incorrect and people may not necessarily be completely truthful with that information.
Yeah, if a jewelry store were to buy conflict jewelry, I probably wouldn't go there. I feel like there's plenty of other places in the U.S. that are more socially aware of where their products come from. So I feel like there are better options, and it's not necessary to go to a store where they use where they get products that create conflict when there's other options that are better available. So yeah, I would boycott a store that used these.
MBI's research team has consistently seen this level of ethical sensitivity and awareness associated with jewelry purchases among younger consumers. And we can see from these interviews how thoughtful this next-gen jewelry consumer is when evaluating potential purchases. Thanks for watching today's Jewelry Consumer News. For more information on MBI's jewelry consumer market research, visit our website at mbimarketing.com. I'm Sanam, reminding you, it's the consumer's opinion that counts.